Hello and welcome to my online tutoring tutorial and quick start guide to get started with my online tutoring service. To get started with your first session, it's actually pretty easy. All you really have to do is go to the link provided in my description down below. You go to this link, simply just paste it into your browser of choice. I'm using Chrome. You'll be prompted with this message to download Adobe Flash Player. Most people already have it. So all you have to do is click on the Adobe Flash Player, and then this will pop up that it's blocked. You may have the option to just allow it here, but in this case I'm not. So we hit Manage, and Block Sites Running Flash. We hit this little knob right here, and it'll ask us to run Flash next time. So now that we go back to the website, we can refresh the page and click on it again. So now we'll be prompted to run Flash. So we allow this here, and now we're prompted with a web page asking us for a meeting ID. Essentially what a meeting ID is, it's generated randomly. So when I create a session, I'll send you the meeting ID. All you have to do is paste it into this little box right here and hit join meeting. Once you have joined your meeting, it'll take a little bit to load, a few seconds, and right away you'll be into the session. So I'll show you what that looks like. All right, now that we have a meeting started, all we have to do is paste in our meeting ID. It's a unique ID. It changes every time. So unfortunately, you won't have the same one for the same person. It'll change between session and session. But all you have to do is paste it in there. Make sure the M is still at the front, and click Join Meeting. From here, right now, I'm only sharing a blank screen. So right now this is my screen. So you have a little toolbar up top. This is what you can use to sort of interact. Right off the bat, we have our X. This basically closes the meeting. So it'll end the meeting. Whenever you're done, you just hit this X, closes out, and you're prompted back with the join another meeting page. Next to that, we can click here. We have participants. We have who's presenting, and we have you, participant 1. You can change your name by hitting here and typing in. The next one, we have voice over IP. Essentially what this is you can hear me talking, I can hear you talking. Here, you can adjust the volume of me, how loud I am, by moving this little bar right here. The next one is something that you won't need to be using. This is conference call. This is if you're using a phone number. Not necessary for this. Next part is the chat box. This is also not very necessary because you'll be using a microphone. The last one is a little I. It says original and scaled. Right now it's selected on scaled. Essentially what this means is it'll scale my screen, the black image right now, to be whatever size your Chrome window is or your browser window is. If you hit original, it'll be the original size of the screen, and you'll have to use the scroll bars on the left and right to zoom across the screen. So it's recommended to use a scaled. And if you want to, you can make this as big as your entire screen, and it'll stay scaled to as big as it can fit. If you'd like to, you can go into full screen if you prefer that. Either way, it works. And the last feature that you have available on the web browser version is you can click on the screen, and as of right now you can't see it, but I myself can see it, that you are pointing to somewhere on the screen. So if you click somewhere on this black image, which would be the problem that we're going over or the topic that we're discussing, you can point to whatever you want to point to, and I'll be able to see where you're pointing to on my screen. So there's easy interaction there. There's a few other features that are not available on the web page version simply because they just don't work on a website, so they have to be used in an actual application. So to get the full features of that and what I recommend to be using between everyday sessions is going to be in the program version. So again, when you're done with this, you hit your X and you'll leave the session. It'll ask you to download the program. Okay, so once you've been prompted with this page, all you have to do is click on this big green download button. It'll redirect you to their TeamViewer website. From here, you click the green download TeamViewer button. It'll begin downloading in the bottom left. Click on your setup, hit run. This window right here, basically all you want to select is basic installation, the first bullet point here, and on the next one, personal use. That's all we need to do, so we can hit accept finish. You'll be prompted with an administrative thing. This is basically saying that you just want to install your program on the PC. You'll get a little loading bar. Once that's finished, it'll redirect you to another TeamViewer website to show you how to use TeamViewer, so you can close out of these websites, so you no longer need them. And TeamViewer will right away open up. So you'll be prompted with this. So right now you don't have to create an account. I do recommend it because I will be setting up calendars on TeamViewer, so you can view them on there or on my Google Calendar, whichever one is easier for you. But you don't necessarily have to have an account. To join a meeting or join a tutoring session, you click on the meeting tab right here. And from here, you paste in the code like you pasted in last time. And you can type your name in here, whatever you'd like it to be. You enter the meeting ID and hit join meeting. All right, so once you're in a meeting, you'll be prompted with two different windows. You'll have a window that'll be much larger and it'll show my screen. And then you will also get another window that is much smaller that looks like this, which is the most important part. The screen part will look exactly the same as the web browser version, so there's nothing we really need to go over there. So here, this is a little window you can move around. If you want to get rid of it, you can hit this little arrow on the side and it'll drag it to the side of your window to get it out of the way if you want to see the entire screen. Then you can click on it again and it'll bring it out. The first tab, we have participants. Basically shows you your meeting ID here. It shows me, the presenter, and then it'll show you underneath it, which the same way on the web browser, you can change your name there as well. So then we have audio. We don't want to mess with voice over IP or phone, just keep it on voice over IP. You can click on this to mute or unmute your microphone, and then you can see the levels to see if your microphone is actually working. Here, speakers, you can adjust how loud my voice is, and same thing with muting. We have file box. If we open this up, inside here, we can drag and drop files. For example, if we wanted to go over a homework worksheet or classwork worksheet, you can drag your file into there. I'll get the file on my end, and then we can be able to open it up in full screen and go over the problems. So the next part, we have my video. I will have my video inside of my screen sharing, so it won't show up here. But if you are connecting a webcam so that I could see you as well as you could see me, it would show up here. And then the last one, we have whiteboard. This is very important. That doesn't work on the web browser, unfortunately. Here you can draw on my screen, and you can solve the problem, for example, in front of me, so I can see how you're solving it and see if maybe there's a problem with that or something that we need to fix. So it's very simple to use. You have cursor, so this basically just points on the screen. The next one, we have paintbrush. This is where you can draw on the screen. It is a little bit laggy, but it still works as well as we would need it. So you can write different things on the screen, and then I can clear it whenever I need to. The next one we have is a highlighter. Same function, except it has a little bit of transparency and it's a different color. And then we have text over here. So maybe it's not so easy for you to draw with a mouse. So you can have text and you can type on your keyboard to type out what you want to solve. But pretty self-explanatory here. It's really easy to use. And of course, once you're done with all the sessions, all you have to do is hit the X right up top. It'll close you out and it'll bring you back to this window. From here, all you have to do is close out and you're done with TeamViewer. So that's all you really have to do to get it set up with tutoring sessions online. Once you've already set it up, it's pretty simple. You just open the program from your desktop, enter the code, and you're in. I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope you guys found this really useful. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Send something in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed.